6:30 a.m. There aren't any people on the slopes yet, but the resort isn't asleep. The main cable car, the Kafkaski Express, is already operating. It's not taking tourists up yet, but avalanchers. Sergey?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're just who I was looking for. You headed to work?
Headed to work at the peak.
Sergey Forsov is not only a certified mountain guide, climber, and skier. In 2009, he became a rescuer. And 3 years ago, he decided to actually start fighting avalanches. All right, we've arrived at your place of work, an office, by the way, with a great view.
Yeah, it's great.
Rosa Peak is the highest point of Rosa Huter at about 7,600 feet, but we've still got a ways to go.
Well, we all get together now. We meet, discuss our plan for opening, and the engineer on duty will assign the employees to zones.
Hi, guys.
Let's get started. Hi, guys. So, as planned, Azret Pitalik to the Rosa Circus, Petya Masha to Ober, Sergei, Tatiana to the southern sector. Shall we?
Let's go. So the on-duty shift travels along the resort slopes. The first skiers to touch the snow, they could be envied. It's a dream job, you might say, but only if you don't know what they're looking for. Woo! Is that fresh?
What? Fresh?
Is that fresh?
Yeah.
It wasn't here when you came by before, right?
No, it wasn't. Look there, it's falling.
You can find hundreds of similar photos in the patrol group's work phones each season. And now it's time for me to get a closer look at avalanches. Sergey, and where are you and I headed to?
We're also going to Oberhuter, but a different way.
On that? On a snowmobile?
You will be on the snowmobile.
And you?
And me? The usual way.
See you at the bottom then?
Yep.
Here we go. Woohoo! Meanwhile, we've arrived here. Strange, it looks like any other slope, nothing special about it.
We're gonna survey the area. It's closed right now, but we continue to monitor it.
Oh, so it's actually totally closed at the moment? Why is that?
There are a lot of little runs here.
Uh-huh.
They're small volume avalanches caused by wet snow on the surface. What poses the most danger are the gaps, which you can see are between the rocks where the trees are.
Like hats, right? Hanging on top?
Hats, sort of cracks.
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
All the snow is threatening to go at any moment. Circus Ober is in effect a huge avalanche bowl, and we're about to find ourselves at its bottom.
Shall we go?
Sure. Sergey, as usual, is on skis. I'm on the snowmobile. And honestly, now my heart is skipping not from the descent, but where we're descending to. When you realize that all that mass can come down on you, it's terrifying. And we're getting closer to an avalanche. It came down just yesterday, and next to its size, we seem completely insignificant. So what if someone had been here this...
It would have been bad.
Here, 750 cubic feet came down. Even an avalanche 7 times smaller than this is dangerous for a person because the state of the snow also matters. If it's wet, like it is now, then 10 cubic feet can weigh up to 1,700 pounds, which means all this is between 21 to 56 tons, and this is just the beginning.
You see that black outcropping of rocks and the cracks next to it? They're really sticking out. When they bulge out like that, it's a clear sign that they're already moving. They're ready to fall off.
And you're not afraid to stand here? No fear buzzing inside?
Well, of course there is. That's why I keep looking this way and that like a rabbit, and I'm constantly keeping an eye on what's happening above us.
He doesn't only observe, but also checks. Any slope can be an avalanche test site. This section is more or less stable, for now. And then it's like a snowball?
Yes.
Literally and figuratively.
Well, yes, depending on the condition of the snow, it can develop into a large mass of snow like this.
And just 1,000 feet away from the stable site, another portion came down here, yeah? Another slab of snow couldn't hold onto the cliffs any longer.
We actually can't stay here for very long.
Oh.
Because look there, right now the snow is falling off little by little.
Yeah.
The snowmobiles are turning around and we'll be ready to quickly leave this area.
So that's how it is. You can understand just how dangerous this place is by simply glancing down the slope. The larger part of the fall went further. I would not want to stand in its way. But even larger reserves of snow are still hanging there right above us, and no one knows how long they will stay there. Maybe like cement?
It's wet, damp, heavy snow. Well, like, I don't know, well, like dough, like cement, yes, concrete.
We're leaving. They say, quickly. We don't need a cable car to go back up. We have our own lift, the snowmobile. Sergei simply attaches a rope to it, and even with the additional load, we can easily go back to the top. This is how not only avalanches return to the peak, but all the data they collected too, and it flows down again to here, their base, which although it's at the top of the mountain, it's still 12 feet below the snow level.
We call this office the snowdrift. My name is Piotr. Today I am on duty on the mountain.
They work in shifts around the clock. Predictive weather models are created based on the data from field research and automatic weather stations, and previous avalanches are recorded on these maps. So the red, those are all avalanches?
Those are all avalanches, yes, but they didn't happen all at once. All this was over the past few years.
Look, in effect, there's danger of an avalanche happening everywhere, yes?
Yes, every slope. Where there's a slope and there's snow on it, we will see an avalanche. That's it. And our task is to make sure that they don't get too big anymore.
This is the GazX remote avalanche control system. It's put to use early in the morning, and no unnecessary people, including journalists, are allowed close to it. So we won't be able to film the system in action, but will we find out how it works? Of course. This crevasse is called a suicide gully, and for good reason. I'll need to walk along the very edge of a tall cliff. Well, this is really terrifying. When you look around, My guide makes his way out to this little wooden stand multiple times a day, no matter the weather conditions. Uncle Lyosha, everyone here calls you Uncle Lyosha, right?
Here, yes.
A USSR Master of Sport in mountaineering and an instructor of the highest category, 70-year-old Uncle Lyosha's actual name is Leonid Andreev. Since 2009, he's been responsible for intentionally setting off avalanches here using the GazX system. Here, yes? There's a pipe, there's a pipe.
This is all GazX. Yes, there are 68 of these pipes, just on Rosa.
These pipes are aptly called exploders. They're connected by pipes to the wooden stands, referred to as shelters. That is where the gas is stored. These cylinders contain oxygen and a hydrocarbon mixture, propane. All in all, it's the makings of an explosive cocktail.
Well, a specific amount of oxygen and propane can be sent to any of the pipes we have set up.
And there they mix.
Yes.
And what happens?
There, in the pipe, an explosive mixture comes together. A spark is also created in there, and it all simply goes off. That is, it creates a massive clap, like a shovel hitting the snow. And that's it. The unstable snow, it starts to move. It says, let's all join together and fly, okay? And you've got an avalanche that we induced.
These explosions, matching those of 80 pounds of TNT, prevent avalanches with avalanches. You have to agree, it's an elegant solution, and as observation shows, a working one. These controlled events minimize uncontrollable natural events each and every season, and every year the number of these pipes on Rosa Hutor grows. The system is environmentally friendly and safe because it's controlled remotely and predictably, unlike outdated artillery fire.
Attention, fire!
While filming one such instance a few years ago for the film Explosions, my colleague from the TV channel Science, Anton Wojciechowski, almost
it's here.
Ended up under the snow himself.
Snow, it's natural. It's a living creature that craves to punish us in an instant.
Quite often, the extreme sports fanatics themselves simply ignore the danger. According to statistics, it's people who provoke avalanches in 83% of cases. Those same skiers, snowboarders, climbers, more than 300 of them are killed by the deadly snow annually.
Sonia, keep looking. 1 in 5, 1 in 1, 09, Sasha the sensor. Got it.
Rescuers have only a few dozen minutes to find and extract a person from under the deep snow.
Start digging.
This is the only way to rescue a person and see them face to face again.
Well, hello, Sasha.
Ivan, I'm so glad to see you.
Same here.
Of course, this is all just a drill, but honestly, I'm covered by how much snow right now? Only 5 or 6 inches of it, right?
Yeah, 6.
It's simply impossible to get out from under it on your own. It's insanely heavy.
Exactly. It's a dangerous thing, a wet avalanche.
These guys are rescuers at Rosa Huter. Ivan, on the left, used to serve in the emergencies ministry, but has been working here for 2 seasons already. And Alexander, on the other side, was an extreme free rider. Now they have to evacuate me. So this is an akio.
Exactly right.
Essentially, it's a sleigh.
A device for transporting injured people.
So it's sort of the opposite of an inflatable mattress.
Deflated, let's say. It lets out air.
Excess air is siphoned out with a pump.
Yes, it holds the shape it surrounds and becomes rigid.
All this makes you feel, forgive the comparison, like a food product in a vacuum package.
Okay, Sasha, that's enough.
Protective cuffs and safety straps are fastened on top of everything else. Now I'm definitely not going anywhere.
Son, ready? Yep, ready. Let's go.
But I'm not really ready. Oh. Woohoo!
Lift it up. Yvonne, we lift the Akio if there's too much snow, and that way we can keep moving.
At the same time, the person in front immediately starts flying on their skis. I've eaten more than enough of the local snow. Okay, now we're turning. And the turn is quite sharp, but this clearly isn't the rescuers' first time. Meanwhile, we're approaching the main event of the program. We're now leaving the trail. Oh, mama! And we leave on a steep slope.
Well, in order to slow down, we position our skis perpendicular to the slope and lose speed.
We enter another turn. And now we're returning to the path.
Make way! Watch out, Akio!
Here on the path, rescuers can reach their maximum speed. What's really surprising is that I don't feel practically any vibration. From what I can tell, an injured person won't experience any discomfort during this. Woohoo! But it's good that at these speeds, the descent only takes a few minutes. Wow. Okay, guys. I think I've had enough of being a passenger. I'll ride down a freshly groomed slope. Even with the onset of nightfall here in Sochi, you can have a great and healthy time. But this luxury is worth a lot. You and I know all about that now. And tomorrow will be a new day. Another day of great fun for some and difficult work for others. But it's good that at least they all seem to be in love with these mountains of snow.